Hello, I want to welcome everyone back to Driving the Wedge. Today, who we have taking a walk up the fairway with DA is Mr. Brandon Glover,
Pleasure
founder,
to meet you.
CEO, Birdies over Bogeys. How you doing, Brandon? Nice of you to join us today.
I'm doing well. This lovely Friday morning. It's great to be with you, David. I appreciate it.
Okay, I appreciate you taking the time out. So, Brandon, I see the brand Birdies over Bogeys. I guess that's a lot of our motivation when we're playing the game. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to our audience.
All right. Name's Brandon Glover. I grew up in the Southern California area. Moved to Texas in the late '90s, so I consider Texas home these days. But always been an avid golfer. I actually have a baseball background, so I played college and professional baseball. Had shoulder surgery on my way out, but golf was always an avenue of relaxation, a hobby. Kind of the same swing mechanics on a different plane. So I've always been around the game. Actually, took a golf 101 class in college. So it's always piqued my interest. Honestly, if I had it to do all over again, I'd have tried to pursue a golf career. But being around the game, again, we kind of came up with the brand all about the pursuit of better. We go out there.
I like that.
Number one, linking up with any random individual that you'll see at the public golf course is a great way of collaborating and sharing your personality with just anybody that you meet in life, which is a great avenue of bringing people together. And then this brand we came up with very simple design, circles over squares, all based on how you fill your scorecard out, right? You burn in the hole, you circle it, you bogey the hole, you square it in. So circles over squares, birdies over bogeys, and again, it's developed around the pursuit of better. Just going out there and trying to be one shot better every day.
Yes, I like the. You got to put that on the shirt. The pursuit of better.
The pursuit of better.
Yeah, I like that. I like that theme right there. That catchphrase.
Yes,
so let me ask you, what kind of game you got? Because you just told me and told our audience that if you didn't play professional baseball, you would have played professional golf. So let us know.
So I'm not bad. I'm a scratch golfer. I've So first and foremost, let me say I'm an educator. So I'm in the classroom, 9 to 5, and we get summers. And in the summer, I go ham on the golf course. So
got you.
My handicap is better in the summer months, obviously, but I still try to maintain. I've played in some qualifiers and trying to get into the Texas State Open and all of that. But I hang around scratch. I go back and forth between, say, like a +3 and a scratch golfer. So I can move it around a little bit.
You in the top 2%. You know that, right?
I can move it around a little bit.
Okay, I like that. All right, so let me ask you this question. How did you get involved in the game of golf?
Honestly, like I said, initially, well, my dad introduced me to the game as a kid. I had the clubs cut for kids, and the sad thing about that is I'm left-handed, so finding quality left-handed clubs, especially for a kid, was difficult. But my dad ended up procuring a set of clubs from a pro shop that burned down, and they just had some heads that they were trying to get rid of. So we got a full set, put some kid shaft in it, and just kind of took off from there. So I've always been swinging a golf club, albeit obviously when I was younger, not very well. Ended up being a hobby just to get away from the hustle and bustle of the daily grind, but really fell in love with the game in college. And started pursuing it pretty heavily out there. And again, just the fact of building relationships, meeting all kinds of people on the golf course. A lot of my close friends today I've met from the golf course. So there's
a lot of us that have that same testimony.
It's a great unifier, and that's why I love the game.
100% true. So how would you say the game has benefited you since you've been playing, or since your introduction to it?
Well, I honestly think golf as a whole is all about life skills. There's nobody else to point the finger to. You got to be able to deal with your own emotions. Yes, it's a physical game, most definitely, but I think most of all, it's mental, between your ears. And just like you go through life, your thought process, your actions, pretty much dictate your outcomes, and it carries over directly to the golf course. So that accountability, that discipline, the honesty, the collaboration, being able to get along with people that may not believe the same as you, look the same as you, all of that. That's the story of the world that we live in. So again, I think it's a great unifier that people of all backgrounds, all races, all economic denominations, all of that come together to play that game. And albeit it's a struggle at times, but it is something that we need to remind ourselves that we are doing for the fun of it, for the enjoyment, and for the camaraderie.
That is true. That is true. I like to make the association that golf is like a microcosm of life.
Most definitely.
It definitely has a lot of correlations and similarities in terms of it's the way in which you can apply it.
I'm a big believer that if you really want to get to know who somebody truly is, take them to the golf course.
Ooh,
you will see every bit of their personality out there in a heartbeat.
And if you've seen any of our previous videos that we put on the podcast, I always end it by saying, if you want to get better at golf, get better at life.
Get better at life.
At life.
Pursuit of better, right? That's what we're here for.
That is true. I like that. So let me ask you. So based on what you shared so far, would you say you subscribe to the term "got bit by the golf bug"? And if so, how did you know you were bit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I honestly think it's easy, but I say that being a married man with a wife that I've still not convinced to come play golf with me. My wife was a very high level soccer player, and her competitive juices sometimes get the best of her on the golf course.
Okay.
And I think, again, that's kind of the mental battle with it. Yes. So, yes, I was bit by the golf bug in terms of all it really takes is one good shot, one good swing, one good putt to put that smile on your face, to give you that dopamine release that keeps you coming back.
That
Even
is true.
It may be the worst round that you've ever played. That one swing that you hit, you watch that ball take off the way that you want to. It's an addiction, man. It's nothing like it.
So give us an example of or a moment in which you could say you could reflect back on and attest to, like, man, I'm like, it got me.
Oh, so I will go back to college, right? I took a golf 101 class in college, and at the time, I was a baseball player in college. So I ended up taking it in the spring semester. We would be grinding through practice. As a college athlete, your whole day is assigned for you already. Starts at 5 a.m. and we're not done until 8 p.m. Right. But when I get those off days, those couple of hours to myself, the first thing that I did would go to the golf course. And at the time, I didn't have a set of clubs myself. So in the golf 101 class, our professor had basically just a bucket of free-for-all clubs.
Yes.
And in that bucket was one left-handed blade 6-iron. And that was the only club that I could hit. And when I was swinging it, it was not pretty. But again, I would be out there in the evening under the lights launching balls at the range. And that feeling of looking up and watching that ball fly exactly the way you want to, that feeling was pure exhilaration and relaxation at the same time. So
wow.
I was hooked from that point.
Okay. So let me ask you now, where are some of the places you've traveled and some of the courses that you like to identify that you played in terms of your golf experience and your golf voyages?
Okay, so I consider myself a public golf course guru. I'm not a member of a country club or anything like that, albeit I've had the opportunity to play at some very nice country clubs. But I would say number one on my list would be, and I don't know if it's even public anymore, but it's on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. It's Princeville Resort, the Prince course.
Okay.
I haven't played it in a couple of decades. I played it when I was younger, and I was not nearly as good then. And that course absolutely ate my lunch. But you talk about just being enamored with the views, right on the cliffs. You got that nice Hawaiian air, nice cool breeze, looking out at the islands and the ocean. Just the whole vibe out there is amazing.
That's ironic. Excuse me, not to cut you. That's ironic because you're the third person that I've interviewed on this platform, and the three people have all identified at some point golf courses in Hawaii. They must have some beautiful, picturesque, well manicured tracks out there, man.
Look, and I'll be honest, it can be a cow pasture. In Hawaii, it's still a worthwhile experience.
I got you. Okay. So let me ask you now. If there's one thing about the game that you know now that you wish you knew then, what would it be?
Tempo. That for me was the big breakthrough. When I realized that I didn't have to come out of my shoes on every swing to hit the ball well and hit the ball far, it was a complete game changer. If I could have started my golf career that way, understanding that pretty much 85% is max, it's a world of difference. To stay within yourself, to find the center of the club face under control, you hit the ball farther naturally swinging than trying to come out of your shoes and generate it. Golf is weird like that. You know, if you're trying to do something in golf, it's probably not.
You know, it's ironic because, you know, to piggyback what you're saying, when you said golf is weird like that, I call golf the game of opposites.
Most definitely.
It's the one game where the lower you shoot, every other sport, the score goes higher. But in golf, the lower you shoot, the better you play. If you try to hit the ball up, it's going to go down.
Yep.
And if you try to hit the ball down, it's going to go up.
It is. It's
if you hit down on the ball, it's going to go up.
Yeah.
You know, so
you want to hit it to the right, you got to swing left. You want to hit it right.
It's the game. It's the game of opposites, and I think that because, you know, I've taken lessons and I've witnessed other clinics and different workshops, but I think if instructors would start the premise of their teaching with that statement, it will help transition the new player's mind or the person that's in pursuit of better mind.
Yep.
To look at it from a different perspective. It's a game of opposites.
Most definitely. And here's the thing I would like to point out too, real quick. If you're brand new to the game and you're coming into golf, I honestly think the first thing that you should be doing is putting and chipping. Learn how to put the ball in the hole first, and then work your way back to the tee box.
Got you.
I see it time and time again. You go out to any general driving range, I would guarantee you at any given moment, 80 to 85% of the people out there have driver or 3-wood in their hand, letting it fly. When the majority of the game actually happens inside of 150 yards. So if you learn to put the ball in the cup well first, it will make the rest of the game seamless. That's
true. You know, they say we use our putter. It's nothing like being greenside in 2 and then you 2 chip and 3 putt.
I'm telling you.
You walk away with a 7.
It'll eat you up, man. It'll eat you up.
That is true. It's nothing. All right, so let me ask you. I got a question that I call the hood golf. You know, because the platform is generated for us, and sometimes we're new to the game, and we come with different perspective. Because as you say, we are muni golfers, so to speak, instead of country clubs. So we don't really fall into that little tightened up bougie way of doing things, especially for our introduction. So, do you have a profound or funny golf story that you would like to share that we can attest to be like a hood golf moment? Whether it be you or whether it be someone that you just know of.
So I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus. But
okay. No names.
I'll say this in general. I think for some people, golf ends up being the outlet of being able to hang out with the buddies and throw a few back.
Okay.
And I've seen time and time again where those who are throwing it back end up enjoying themselves too much in the liquid department and not enough on the golf course. And honestly, as adults, I get it. You gotta have some kind of break. You gotta have some kind of getaway. But I think we need to enjoy the golf more than we do enjoy the amenities of the golf course.
Okay. All right. We're gonna take that. We'll take that. All right. So what's in the bag? Like what are you playing? And then tell us what is your go-to club, or when you have to produce a shot. What's your favorite club?
And I know it's one side or another, but I'm a ping guy. So iron wise, at least I've got ping irons in the back. Wedge through 3-iron are ping. All of my metal woods are TaylorMade. I play a Stealth 1 driver currently, and then I'm working on procuring the QI 10 3-wood because I hear currently they're the best in the game. But again, you have to understand I'm left-handed, so my selection of inventory is vastly smaller than those that are on the other side of the ball.
Okay, so let me also ask you this: stock shaft or personalized shaft?
Personalized shaft, especially in the driver. So my driver is unique in that I have an 83 gram shaft in my driver, and it's a shaft that I have messed around with and it fits me perfectly. And I've had it in the bag for the last 4.5 years. I honestly just changed the heads out now because the shaft is exactly what I want. And then through the irons, everything is extra stiff. So
how long did it take you to get to that driver? Because I'm just starting to look into those personalized shafts and opposed to stock shafts as well. Because I had an experience down in Georgia at one time, and I was playing with a bunch of brothers down there, and I shared this on the other interview. I had a couple brothers who had 2 and 3 shafts in their bag on the range.
Yeah.
And and I inquired. I thought that was an anomaly to me. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, and one of the brothers said, it depends on the shot, on the body and the swing that they bring that day, that they can adjust. They'll adjust their shaft based on.
You gotta have options, right? You gotta have options.
Yes, so, but I'd like to further discuss at another time your experience as it relates to, from a personal standpoint, as it relates to shaft options, why you chose to go that route, and what it took for you to settle in on the one that you have. Okay, well, we can talk about that a little later.
Okay.
All right. So let me ask you, so what's your go-to shot? Your go-to club, when you have to get in the fairway, or that can bail you out.
So if I absolutely have to find a fairway, I'm hitting a little Stinger 3-wood.
Okay.
I used to play a little 2-iron, reminiscent of Tiger, trying to hit the little Stinger 2-iron, but I honestly have not found the 2-iron these days that I like enough. So yeah, the go-to would be the little hammer down cut 3-wood.
Okay. All right. Well, you talk like you know the language.
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so let's get into this brand, Birdies over Bogeys.
Yeah.
Golf apparel. Tell us about it. Tell us, how you got started. No, you gave us a brief introduction how you got started, but tell us, what does it consist of? What are you offering? How can we get in contact? How can the viewing audience get in contact with you to support your brand and your business?
Most definitely. So we run our e-commerce store at birdiesoverbogeys.org. That's where all of our inventory is currently. The majority of our sales happen online, and then we're on all of the social media platforms as well at birdies_overs_bogeys as well.
Okay.
Really got to start. And again, in a baseball background, I've always been a guy that's rocked a hat. Right, I've always had a hat on my head, and I kind of noticed that some of the hats in the golf space were subpar, if you will. So really wanted to set out to at least start foundationally with a quality golf hat that is both effective and looks good. So we did some work in the manufacturing department to find the right fabric, to find the right consistency. So we right now make moisture wicking, antimicrobial, lightweight hats. I always say the only thing our hats don't do is float or make that putt for you. But right now, we offer a good array of hats in different colors. We have a couple of different models, whether it be the kind of the high crown that I'm rocking currently. It's got the rope hat, the rope on it for the little luxe feel. These actually come as flat bills initially, and then you can kind of curve them the way you want to. And then we also offer a curved bill that's got a little smaller crown for a little smaller framed head as well. And we're in the process of working on a bucket hat to keep you out of the sun come summer. We're working on a visor, and then finalizing a beanie as well as we make our way into the colder months. But eventually we would like to make our way full on into all out apparel. So also currently working on kind of our fabric blend for our shirts, and eventually it will be belts and shorts and slacks as well. As a matter of fact, on the inside of our hats, I don't know if you can see that, but our design on the inside of the hat will be our first design on our apparel. So our first shirt will be the same design that you see on the inside of the hats as well.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have a couple of interviews with some of that apparel, because even though I wear the driver the wedge hat, of course it's something that I came up with, because I said every golfer's goal is to go from the driver to the wedge.
Most
Being a scratch golfer, you should know that that's probably what you do consistently.
That's the goal. I can't say that I do that consistently, but that's the goal.
That is the goal, to go from the pursuit of better, right?
Absolutely. You got it.
Is to go from the driver to the wedge. And I'll also say that it's a microcosm, like we alluded to earlier. It's sometimes, driver being the longest, most powerful club, the wedge being the shorter, most finesse club. sometime in life you got to know when to apply power and you got to know when to apply finesse. Because
You said it.
if you bring one when the other one's supposed to be, then you're gonna get bad outcomes.
You are correct about that. It's got to be in balance at all times.
Yes, so that's why we came up with it. So we got birdiesoverbogeys.org is the website.
Yes, sir.
Birdiesoverbogeys72 at Gmail to contact you.
Yeah,
you respond. I know I can attest that you get back to people, you respond, you're trying to grow your brand. It's a great concept, great product line. I'm encouraging everyone who's listening, who's watching this content to please support Brandon and his company, birdiesoverbogeys.org, Birdies Over Bogeys, Golf Apparel. We're looking forward to it, okay? Trying to support each other the best we can.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Okay, so we're going to tap into our next segment. I've got a next segment called Rapid Fire. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Rapid Fire, I'm going to ask you a question, give you two answers. You got to choose one or the other. If I say I'm pressing play, that means go ahead and expand on why you chose that, all right?
You got it.
Okay. So, Rapid Fire, name of the podcast is Driver or Wedge. So I got to ask you, driver or wedge?
Wedge.
Okay, why?
Like I said, play. The majority of the shots that you hit in golf actually happen inside of 150. So the wedge game is crucial. Even if you're not finding the fairway, you're going to have to gouge that wedge to get it up and down. So the wedge work's got to be primo because you're not going to hit every fairway. You're not going to hit every green. It's an absolute must.
Solid. Ride or walk?
Preferably walk. But I will say in the golf space, it's hard to find those courses that allow walkers with the same pace. I wish they would designate some time in general tee times for walkers specifically, because the moment you get out there and walk, especially on a busy day, you've got groups in front of you and behind you riding in carts, and then the pace gets thrown off as a result of it. So I think the essence of the game is walking, enjoying the vibe, enjoying the space, and it keeps you in a nice rhythm of golf. But yes, I understand the usage of carts. Absolutely.
Okay. Plus there's a monetary value to it as well.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay. They're not trying to give that away. Practice or play?
Play, ideally. I am a range rat though. I don't mind the practice, but if I have a couple of hours to sacrifice, I'd rather go play 9 holes than just beat balls on the range.
Okay. When watching golf, do you prefer to watch men or women play?
Oh, honestly, women, because they strike the ball. And they have to be so much better with their longer clubs that I feel like they hit the ball better than we do, honestly. So I learn a lot watching the women's game for sure.
Okay. Now, in an 18-hole round of golf, would you prefer to have a consistent driver or a hot putter?
Hot putter, hands down.
Okay.
It's the great equalizer. I've seen many a guy not be able to get it off the tee very well, but still gets it on the green, whether it be 35, 45 feet away, and still make that putt for par. And it's the same score. It's the same score as me, even though I did it differently. So absolutely. Hot putt all day.
Isn't it deflating?
It's so deflating. One good putt will forgive all.
Yes, that is true. Okay. When on the course, do you bring food or snacks, or do you purchase at the clubhouse?
I always bring. I've got a bag full of snacks at all times.
Okay. Shorts or pants?
Oh, so you're asking a Texan, man. You're asking a Texan. So shorts, and I'm very warm-blooded, so I sweat very easily. So gotta be shorts.
Okay. What's your dream foursome?
Man, I go back and forth about this all day long. I will say, my dad.
Okay.
Tiger Woods. And honestly, best buddies.
You got to choose one.
I got to choose one?
It's a foursome. Okay.
So my pops, Tiger Woods, and I'm going to go with, I'm going to keep it in the family. It's going to be my brother, my older brother.
Okay, that's the safe one, because your boys were all going to hit you up after they see this.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's hard to argue family.
Look, to my defense, I feel like the ideal foursome is you and your 3 best friends at all times.
Okay.
Because that's always going to be a great time on the golf course.
That is true. Okay, last one. A dominant player or a competitive field? What's better for golf? What's better for golf?
I have to say a competitive field. I think we're seeing that currently. And I mean, Scottie Scheffler is the hottest man on tour, right? You could say he's making his way towards being a dominant player, but I think the Tiger Woods effect of the current PGA Tour is every single week those guys tee it up. Every single guy in the field has a chance to win it.
Okay.
It didn't used to be that way, but currently in the space of golf, the competitiveness and the skill set, man, those guys are good. So every single one of them that tee it up on Thursday morning have a chance.
Okay. Now, it's not to say I don't agree with you, but let me volley back and forth with you on that question.
Okay.
On that answer real quick.
Okay.
Do you believe, and I know you're a competitive person, but do you believe Scotty plays the way he plays if the other big name, big time golfers were in the field at the same time? I'm not trying to break the conversation of LIV versus the PGA. I'm just talking about if you put DJ and Brooks and Bryson and those guys and now Rahm in that field, is he as dominant as you just alluded to?
I mean, I don't feel like it's any shock value, and you can call it viral if you want to, but yeah, I still think Scotty's the guy. I think DJ and Brooks, don't get me wrong, Brooks Koepka's a major hunter. Yes, but I think there is a valid reason why all of those guys went to LIV.
And you think it's because of Scotty?
No, I'm not saying it's because of Scotty.
I would say it's 500 million.
No.
300 million.
Financially, hands down.
Yeah,
but
okay.
You talk about competitively week in, week out, playing against the best guys on tour.
Yeah. I've never heard that perspective that you just alluded to just now. I would just say that, and I'm not trying to overtalk you, and I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to give you my point.
Oh, for sure.
There's a different kind of pressure when you know you may have hit it in the rough and you're trying to get to that par 5 when you know that you got these guys behind you that can get there in 2. But in today's field, you know, no one can really come get you. So you will lay up because the person or the group behind you don't really have that kind of game that can apply that kind of pressure.
You saying it.
So I'm gonna say, well, in fact, I'm not gonna give you. I just do that out there. I'm not gonna say what my position is, but as it relates to Scotty, will he be as dominant if he had those other big names in the field with him? I mean, some scenarios.
Look, Cam Smith, Rombo, all of those guys were peaking when they left. But here's the thing: when they left, and since they've been on LIV, what have you heard from them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that, and I understand that perspective. I feel like the game is better when we have all of those competitors in the same field. But in the same regard, I think week in, week out, from a competitive standpoint, the best on the planet are still on the PGA Tour.
Okay, listen.
Hey, at least their own.
No, I like this. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna respect that. Right. I like your perspective a lot in terms of your vision, your ideals, and where you land on with regards to the question. So that's cool. All right, so let's shout the product line out again.
Birdies.org, y'all, to the pursuit of better. Come check me out. We got a hat in line for you. We got more in the works. We'll have quite a few products dropping as we get into the summer months as well. So stay with us.
Okay, thank you. All right, so listen, Brandon, I want to thank you for coming aboard. Thank you for your time, your energy, your effort. We'll continue to push and support the product line. We'll try to shift some stuff around so I can get it behind me. Because I think we have this platform. We're putting in the work is with brothers like yourself that's coming aboard, doing just as much to push the brand as we're trying to push your product line. So Let's continue to collaborate, continue to utilize each other as a resource. All right.
Definitely. Thank you for the collaboration. I really like what you're doing.
And if I ever get the invite to come down to Texas to play,
let me know, baby. Let me know.
Yes, I will. You know, you gotta let me know. Hey, listen, I got some free time next month or whatever, and we can collaborate and make it happen. All right.
We're getting there. Summer's right around the corner now.
All right, solid goal. Okay, so I want to thank everyone for sharing this experience to grow our culture. I humbly ask that if you like and benefit from the Driver to Wedge content, that you subscribe, like, and share to the platform YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Driver to Wedge, all the social media platforms, Driver to Wedge. And that's the number 2, not the word 2. I sign off by saying, if you want to get better at golf, let's get better at life.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.